I've got one of my gardens in the background. Good tidings. Today I'm going to be making a video about my second meditation retreat. Now, the last day was 2 days ago, so I came home yesterday and I went for a week. The first time I went for 10 days, and I have another video about that on my channel. So for this one, I did not time my meditation sits. I would sit for about an hour 5 times a day, and the rest I would spend doing walking or just laying down meditation, and then eating, sleeping, showering, and all that stuff. So that was just a different way to do it, and I wanted to compare the two. And I think that doing it untimed definitely has some benefits, but it can be easier to be lazy about it. It's just better because you're not focusing on the time, and that's not another thing to think about and to set a timer for. So last time I had a lot of crazy experiences, like Kundalini phenomena, and this time it was pretty boring. There was just a lot of negative emotions coming up that I worked through, and a lot of just sitting there, I think some good shadow work type of things, and there was nothing too crazy going on until like the night of the 6th day. I went to sleep, and I just had a lot of crazy nightmares. I looked at the clock, and it lasted about 3 hours, and I woke up probably a dozen times, and it was just this layered nightmare within a nightmare, where I would think that I woke up, and I would be fine and relieved that it was over, and then it would start to happen again, and what was happening was I would be haunted and just start to lose my mind, so I would hear noises, and then just crazy stuff like that would go on, and there was just a bunch of fear kind of things. And so that went on and until I got up, and that was about it. It sounds like a normal dream, but like on the last meditation retreat I had a lot of crazy dreams, but this is just something from another level. It really felt like I was being flooded with something really weird, and it was just very intense. That's not really something you can put into words, but it was. So that was about it. I got through the whole thing. I thought I might be able to, because last time I did, and I didn't really have to spend a lot of time thinking about if I'll make it through the whole thing or not. It was still very hard, and well, I think I found the beehive. I found a chunk of a beehive on the ground today, and I think it's right up there on the house. I'll have to look into this. Anyway, so that was about everything that happened on the retreat. I guess there was a lot of hard stuff, but there was also some times where I just started to feel really peaceful and joyful and just happy for no reason, I guess. There's this quote by Rumi, the Sufi poet from the 13th century, that I really like and always remember, and I can only paraphrase it, but it's something like, the task of life is not to seek love in the world, but to break down the barriers to it within. And if you're familiar with any sort of spiritual or meditation-based theory, you can see how that really fits in with what you're trying to do and what the ultimate goal is. And it became clear to me that at some point I think I'm just going to want to go for like a year or two, and I recognize that I can get into these really deep, joyful, and meditative states and stages of development if I do a retreat for a long period of time. And then at the same time, there were the hard experiences and the shadow work I was doing, kind of, that made it clear that I'm not going to be able to do that for a while. It really would take a lot to build up to that, and the few people who do that, like Om Swami, he would meditate about 20 hours a day for 150 days, and just sleep for a couple hours and have one meal. That kind of thing is just so rare, and not standard for what a human can do, especially if they're just starting off. One thing I didn't mention is that I did this retreat like my last one, just alone at a cabin. There are the 10-day Vipassana retreats that you can go to, and that's what I wanted to do, but they were closed because of the coronavirus. I couldn't do them last year because I wasn't 18, So hopefully in the future I can go to those, but also that might be different. I think just doing it alone has its advantages too. What else did I learn? Okay, y'all, I'm back, and I realized the one other thing I was meaning to say was that I really realized that constant mindfulness all throughout the day is just not possible for me right now. In the past, I would kind of beat myself up a little bit when I would just not be mindful for a while, and I would think, oh, I should really be mindful more. But when I went on a retreat and I was focusing constantly on it and still unable to be mindful all the time, that really just makes it apparent that that's more of the end result and not the process, and it could take a while to get there, and really that's a lifelong thing. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, click like and subscribe. Comment on the video if you know me, or even if you don't. I'd really love to hear what you think about this, so that would be good. And stay tuned, I'm going to be making some more videos about my gardens. I've been growing a lot of things, just to give you a preview. Okay, thanks for watching. Adios.